Okay, interesting. So, okay, my next question is, does emotion control the breath, or does the breath control the emotions?
Well, it's the two ways. If the emotion controls the breath, but if you are aware of your breath and you know how to breathe properly, you can control the emotions.
Welcome to Vitamin Consciousness with your host, Nitesh Gianchandani. This podcast is created to make personal development easier to consume on a day to day basis. We call upon experts in the field to share their insight, information, and experiences and turn them into practical tools that you can apply into your life so you can become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, and comment on our social media with the name Vitamin Consciousness or the Nitesh G. Today, we're talking about anxiety and the breathing techniques in which yoga can help. Our guest today is actually my very good friend and also a yoga instructor. She has gone through a period of her life where she felt anxious, constantly fear and worrying. In the year 2017, she found her spiritual teacher, who is Gurudev Sri Ravishankar. He is a humanitarian, spiritual leader, global ambassador of peace, and also the founder of the Art of Living Foundation that is known in more than 150 countries and offers breathing techniques and self-development programs to over 30 million people and counting all over the world. Since meeting him, her life hasn't been the same. She has since then been a yoga instructor in her hometown in Tenerife, Spain, and desires to teach people how to overcome their anxiety through breathing techniques that is found in yoga. So without further ado, let us welcome our guest of the day, Lina Mirpuri. How are you, Lina?
Hi Nitesh, I'm very good over here. I'm trying to keep myself entertained and busy. So I'm very good, doing good. How are you?
Very good, very good. What time is it there right now in Tenerife, Spain?
Right now it's 9:15 p.m. in the night.
Very nice, very nice. It's 3:16 a.m. here in Jakarta, by the way. Okay,
Thank you,
so
Nitesh.
okay, so Lina, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what story did you have that got you into where you are today?
Well, this was back in 2016 when I started feeling emotions like sadness, worry about future, thoughts about the past experiences that happened in my life. I
Okay,
used to feel very lonely and lost. I didn't have any direction in life. I was very confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything clear.
okay,
I always tried to please everybody except myself. Suddenly,
wow,
one day when I was cooking, the heartbeat started becoming more fast. I felt lots of confusion in front of my eyes. I
okay,
couldn't sleep in the night. I used to fear to even be alone by myself. So one day, when I went for a job interview, the person was my teacher, yoga teacher, coincidentally.
okay.
So this yoga teacher asked me where do I stay and if I would like to join a yoga class.
Hmm.
So I told him, yes, why not? I would like to join a yoga class and try, but I didn't used to practice any sport.
Hmm.
So when I went
Okay.
and tried the first class, I experienced energy throughout my body, which no other activity gave me. It was so interesting that I wanted to learn more about it. So one day
Oh,
he offered me another course of breathing technique. It was
mhm.
called Happiness Program, the course that changed my life.
Okay. So the course was called Happiness Program.
Yes, the Happiness Program, it's a magical breathing technique.
Of course, of course, of course. Okay, Lina, I wanted to ask you a question about the job that you were about to apply, right? Was it a yoga instructor job or was it some other job?
It was some other job. It
Okay.
was for a salesperson in a big store. So I just went randomly there to try my luck. And the the person who interviewed me was my yoga teacher.
Or coincidentally, it was your yoga teacher.
Yes, coincidentally, I didn't know him at all.
Okay, so were you shocked or were you happy when you see him?
I am very happy and grateful. Now we are like brother sister. And but first time when he interviewed me, I was shocked because I didn't expect him to bring me into this path of happiness that changed my life.
Okay, so it was him that brought you into yoga the first time.
Yes, exactly. Yes, he was the
Okay,
one, and he used to always send me messages and come personally and to invite me to his classes.
that's
It was,
amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, Lena, I wanted to ask you a question about anxiety. Okay, if you mentioned just now that there are times where you would feel like your heartbeat would go really fast and you were so scared about future. Is there anything in particular that was making you afraid or any experiences? What was causing this fear to be there?
Yes, actually, I had a very bad experience in the past because my father had passed away.
Oh
I had
no. Okay.
left my studies. I had left
Mhm.
my studies, plus I had a breakup with somebody. So everything joined up, and I was feeling like what to do next in my life. I was feeling lost. So this was like, very, it created a nervousness inside of me, a fear,
I can
and
imagine.
I didn't know what to do. So I really went through a very bad time, and I didn't know what to do, what can help me to come out from this. How can I, to whom I can tell my problems? Who will
Mhm.
understand my problems? I didn't have anybody to share with because yes, I had my family, but not everybody understands what you go through when you say about anxiety.
Of course. Especially when you are having that fear inside you, right? You can't share it with people who cannot relate with what you are going through.
Exactly, and it's luckily I just went for a job interview because I felt like working, and suddenly the person who interviewed me, it's a coincidence. He's a yoga teacher, and he brought me into this joy and happiness. And what I'm feeling right now, I don't even take a single medicine or a single painkiller for my headache or anything.
That's amazing. So you have completely transformed just because of that one program, yeah, just because of yoga.
Exactly.
That's
And there are
beautiful.
many other programs into Art of Living that transforms your life. There is not only one program, but lots of programs that changes your life completely.
Right. That's very beautiful. I mean, I'm happy to see your life change. Like, by the way, to our listener, whenever I feel down, whenever I feel unmotivated, I would call Lena, and I'm like, wow, I would get this surge of positive energy. I'm so happy. Okay, so all right. So, Lena, tell me something. Let's talk a little bit about your anxiety. Um,
Yeah.
from the perspective of yoga, like a lot of people are actually confused. What exactly is anxiety like, and where does that come from?
Anxiety is a feeling that it triggers within you where the heart chakra is, where
Hmm.
we have seven energy points in our body. So where our heart is, there is a center of energy that it's of love, fear, and hatred. So anxiety is it's expressed as nervousness, fear, and increased alertness. It's the
Okay.
normal reaction to stress, and it's rooted there in that center of the heart. That's why when we feel fear and the heartbeat goes fast, we feel it over there
Right.
because there are seven centers important in our
S-
body. It's like a normal reaction to the stress or what or the trauma that you have gone through or experienced, because every thought
Mm-hmm.
you create emotion along with the thought, so it becomes a circle like that.
Okay. So every thought creates an emotion. Um,
Exactly.
so that means anxiety is a feeling, or what is it exactly?
Yeah, it's a feeling. It's like love upside down.
Oh, so it's like the opposite of love. It's like the opposite
Yes.
of love. Okay. So that means anxiety. Okay. So anxiety must have a cause, right? There must be a reason why anxiety is there. Why is it there inside us?
Because sometimes many thoughts come, so we are between the past and the future. We
Hmm.
are worried, we are not in the present moment.
Okay.
Right now we are not, because maybe we are physically present here, but our mind can be somewhere else.
Hmm.
So this creates anxiety between the past and the future, and the fear that triggers in you. Like, if you feel fear, just close your eyes and feel where is that point of fear in your body. Just observe it, follow it, and it will dissolve.
Right. Right. That's a breathing technique that you're going to be teaching us today, right?
Yes, I wanted to share some tips for anxiety, very few tips.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
It's to practice yoga, because yoga really helps the postures, and
Hmm.
some breathing techniques that I'm going to share, and meditation. Meditation 15 minutes a day is sufficient. It's equal to 6 hours of sleep.
Okay, that's interesting. 15 minutes a day is equals to 6 hours of physical exercise. That's meditation.
Yes.
Okay, so
Also think what you can do for others, because if you think all the time what's going to happen to me, what about me, this is
yeah,
the best way to get depressed and to be in anxiety. Go out there, do what you feel, and do something for others. You'll feel much better.
this is really nice. This is very practical. So yoga, breathing, meditation, and think about others. Yeah, I mean, like
And
try to
keep
help other people.
positive company also.
Keep positive company. Okay, so there's certain aspects here, Lena. There is yoga, breathing, meditation, help others, and keep positive company. Yeah.
Yes, and avoid seeing news all day.
Avoid seeing news all day. I love this. I mean,
Yes.
I don't really like news myself, so I can completely agree with you in this. Like the news keeps.
We bombard our brains with all the news, negative news that we listen, it becomes our impression. So please avoid looking at the news whole day.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Finally, someone who agrees with me. Okay, so Lina, okay, let's talk a little bit about this. Okay, there's certain aspects here that I wanted to ask you about. Right, there's meditation. 15 minutes later, I have a question regarding that. But let's talk about yoga first. Yeah. Um,
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people have different definitions about yoga. So I'd like to know from you, from a yoga instructor, what exactly is yoga?
Yoga is the union of the breath, the mind, the body, the self, and the universe.
Wow.
You are conscious about your every breath you take during every posture. So
Okay.
it connects your mind with your body and your true nature, yourself, with the universe. It's a
So, okay,
really,
okay,
it's a
okay.
really, it's a very good tool to connect with your own true nature, which you are and you are not aware of.
Okay, so basically, yoga is a union of the breath, the mind, the body, and the universe itself.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so the universe is a very big aspect, right? And whenever we talk about the universe, we think of a lot of definitions. But I like the concept of the breath, the mind, and the body, and especially because we're talking about anxiety, right? So, okay,
Yes.
breath, mind, and body. So that means it only involves the breath, or is there others as well?
Yeah, it involves everything because when you are here in the present moment through your breath, you are connecting with your true nature, with yourself.
Okay.
Because you are here in the present moment, and then there is something very subtle inside you that you really feel you have to experience that.
I
You know,
see.
the energy, you just feel energy while doing yoga. The first time I did yoga, I just experienced energy flowing through my body, which I had never experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And when you just do that, you are along with the universe. You are here with the universe. No, you are not anywhere else. Your mind is present here.
I love your definition of yoga about being in the present moment and not being in the past or the future, because like I forgot to mention also, that means your definition of anxiety is either you're too much in the past or you're too much in the future, correct?
Yes, exactly. You worry. And also, yoga, you have to bring from the scenery to the seer. You have to bring yourself from the
Mhm.
scenery, the outer world, to your inner world. It makes you
Okay.
realize that the happiness relies inside of you, not outside in the scenery.
Okay, so that means you bring the happiness inside of you instead of expecting things outside of you to make you happy. Is that correct?
Yes, the happiness is already inside you, but you don't realize it. So, for that, yoga is there to make you realize that being your true nature, that's the inner joy,
Right.
connecting with.
Right. Okay. So that means that's what yoga is. Now my next question is why breathing is so important, Lena.
Okay, do you know that the first activity when you do when you are born is inhale, and
Correct?
when we die is exhale.
Right.
When we are angry, we take the breath in, we hold the breath, and we just are not aware of our breath. We
Right.
are so angry that we inhale. When we are sad, sometimes we just hold the breath and then or leave a very long exhalation, like
Right.
hmm, you know.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
for every emotion, there is a different breathing pattern.
For every emotion, there is a different breathing pattern.
Exactly. For every emotion, there is a different breathing pattern. Because when you observe your emotions, not all the emotions have the same breathing pattern. All have different breathing patterns.
That's interesting. I never see it that way. Like that means for different kind of emotions that we have, for example, angry or sad or joyful or grateful, that means each one of these has different breathing
Exactly.
patterns.
Exactly. When you are sad, your breathing is very slow, or you exhale more.
Wow.
Or you
Okay.
sometimes you just hold. Have you seen that kids so cute, they
Hmm.
cry, but sometimes they hold and then they cry like that.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it in someone
Everything.
else's kid, not my own, because I don't have one yet. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, right?
Oh, soon you will.
No, okay.
You will remember that.
Well, let's see. But okay, I get what you're saying. So yeah, so that means when a child, okay, so they hold their breath, but whenever they wanted to cry, right? Sometimes they hold it
Yeah,
inside them.
they just do it unconsciously, because many times you just breathe in and you just hold, because you can't, with the emotion that you have inside, you can't help but just hold the breath. Or when you are surprised, or when you see a lion, how do you become? Observe your breath.
Right, right. That's actually very interesting. And if you think about it, Lena, it's actually very true, but we never realize it, never do it consciously, correct?
Exactly. So it's just our reaction. So of the breath, being aware of the breath, changing the breathing patterns, you can change those moods and emotions which you get.
Okay, interesting. So, okay, my next question is does emotion control the breath? or does the breath control the emotions?
Well, it's the two ways. If the emotion controls the breath, but if you are aware of your breath and you know how to breathe properly, you can control the emotions. Means you can change it the other way around.
Okay, so it's possible to work both ways, yeah?
Yes,
So that
it's
means
possible to work.
for example, if I'm feeling angry, okay, and I have certain breathing patterns, correct? So that means if I
Yes.
change the breathing pattern that enhances me to feel joyful, I can start feeling joyful.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Oh,
changing the
okay.
breathing pattern.
Okay, that's pretty
I can
interesting.
show you also one demonstration if you
Yes,
want.
please. Let's do it. I've been
Okay.
waiting for this.
Take your both hands on the shoulders, next to your shoulders. Close the wrist, close the fingers, and your elbows are touching your body.
Elbows are touching my body. Okay, so it means you're sitting in a
Yes,
meditative position, correct?
yes,
Okay.
exactly. You're saying, and you can sit in a chair also, that's not a problem.
Okay, so meditative position. So my hand touching each other, yeah? My left and right.
Yes, and your thumb is outside the fingers.
Thumb is
Outside,
outside the
it's
other
closed. They're
fingers.
closed. Yes.
Okay, okay,
So we take a breath in normal from the nose and exhale normally from the nose. Now we take an inhalation, putting our hands up in the sky and opening our palms. Inhale, open the palms. Exhale, force through the nose and come down and close your wrist and your hands again next to
okay,
your shoulder.
okay,
So it will be like inhale, exhale. You inhale from the nose and exhale with force down. So like that we'll do 15 rounds.
15 rounds. So just inhale, exhale from the nose, yeah?
Yes, and when you lift your hands up, you just have to open your palms, and when you come down, you have to close the wrist and your hands.
Okay, so that means, okay, I have one question. So when do we put the hands up? When we are breathing in and out, or is it every alternatively?
When you breathe in, you put your hands up.
Breathe in, put your hands up, okay?
Yes, exactly. And breathe out, bring your hands down, and exhale from the nose
Mm-hmm.
forcibly little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
Inhale, exhale. Inhale, hands up, exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up, exhale, hands down. Inhale, exhale. And relax your palms over your knees. I will say that this breathing exercise, the people who have high BP and people who have who are in their pregnancy shouldn't do this.
Okay, so those who have high blood pressure and those who are pregnancy shouldn't do it, yeah?
Yes, exactly. So this, it's a very good technique to cool down.
Okay, so that's interesting. I mean, like I tried that just now, and although I've never done it before, I felt more energized. And is that what the purpose of the breathing is?
Yes, exactly. This exercise has to be done for 3 rounds. After 3 rounds, you'll feel even more energetic.
So three rounds times 15 reps each, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay, and make sure you do it on your own because you will not want people to see you lifting your hand up and going down like that. But okay, I get what you're saying. So this is the breathing technique that is for energizing. What is this called, Lina, in yoga? What is the breathing called?
Vastrika.
What's it called?
Vastrika. It's,
Bastrika.
yes, Vastrika. So,
Bastrika.
but this exercise, you should first watch how to do it and then you should follow. You know, it's always good first time under guidance. So if you want, you can contact me
Of
anytime.
course. So after this, I'm going to be sharing Lina's social media, so you can ask her more about how to do the breathing techniques. Correct, Lina?
Yes,
All
correct.
right. Okay. So that was good. So that was Bastrika. Bastrika is for enhancing the energy.
Yes, also whenever you feel low or you feel angry, you just do this. So, through breathing, everything calms down.
Okay. Okay. So, Lina, I have another question. I think this is what a lot of us can relate with. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people want to do yoga. Yeah. A lot of people want to do yoga. They heard about the benefits. They see people who are doing yoga and they see, how good it is and how it keeps people young, they say, right? Some of them. But they quit midway or before they even try because they ask themselves, I can't stop my thoughts. Especially what we are trying to change is we would try to reduce anxiety, but the thoughts don't seem to stop. So how do you answer that? How do you
Yes,
respond to
I
that?
completely relate to that because when I was having anxiety and I was practicing yoga, I used to have thoughts. But the best thing is to be there in the present moment. Yes, thoughts will come, but you don't have to fight or run away. You just have to embrace the thoughts or just watch them as passing clouds. Just observe, be the observer. Don't try to fight or resist. What resist persist. Always
Hmm.
remember this.
I like that. What you
Guruji,
resist persist.
yes, Gurudev Sri Ravishankar always says this.
Okay, so what you resist persist, and I've seen Gurudev talk about it, and I think I really agree with it. Okay, this is my question. You're sitting down there watching the thought that has been paralyzing you all your life, right? This thought, whenever it comes to you, it makes you feel afraid, and you don't want to
Yes.
even look at it, Dina. You don't want to even look at it, and now you have to observe it. How do you do that?
Well, it's it's better to embrace and look at it rather to say no, I don't want. The more you say I don't want, the more is worse for yourself. You have to face it and embrace it, or rather observe it. I know it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough, and you
Hmm.
may have some sensations and feelings to it. But
Hmm.
if some sensations or feelings arise, you just let it go. You want to cry, you cry. You want to scream, you scream. You just let it go. But you have to accept it. Don't fight with it. Don't resist it. Just embrace it and it will go. It's like the fear which I said. You just have to absorb it and observe and it will dissolve.
Okay, that makes sense. That means you see it from. I think if I got you correct here, Lina, yeah, that
Yeah.
means back then you associated yourself with the thought. You thought those thoughts were you, but now you look at it and you observe it. That means you separate yourself from it in a way.
Yes, I'll tell you something. If you keep thinking about it, the emotions will keep coming.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so here the circle will go on and on. So over here, what you have to do, you have to separate the thoughts from the emotions. Suppose you see a dog, and
Hmm.
some people are afraid of dog, and you just feel like running away when you see a dog. So you
Hmm.
just observe the thought of the dog
Hmm.
and you separate the feeling that you get from watching that dog.
Okay.
You have to separate, you have to tear it apart, that circle of thoughts and emotions.
Okay, so that means okay, for example, I have a phobia with dogs. Okay, and I see a
Yeah.
dog and it scared the living hell out of me. Um, how do I separate the thought and the emotion? Like, what kind of mindset should I have so that that happens?
Well, you have to just simply observe the dog,
Okay.
and this emotion is completely separate because see, you shouldn't mix the mind with the heart.
Okay. Okay.
In this case, you are just doing this over here to not to keep thinking and creating the same emotion again and again.
Yeah, yeah.
So I understand completely, like it's a little bit difficult in the beginning to explain this, but really you just have to accept the feeling also.
Mm.
If you get any feeling, accept it, but don't go again and again to the same thought, separate it from the emotion. Many times we mix up the emotions with the mind. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, this is happening with me. Why did this happen to me? No, you shouldn't feel like that. Like you are mixing up the things, the mind and the emotions.
Okay.
Like you should be strong mentally, and not to, for example, feel guilty or feel sad or feel pity for yourself.
Okay, so that means mixture of the thoughts and the emotions is like I think I get what you say, and please correct me if I'm wrong. That means like whenever, like for example, whenever we see a dog and we are scared of the dog, right? It's because we kind of give a meaning that the dog is going to hurt me in the past, and that meaning sticks. Although the dog is actually neutral, it's not trying to harm you, it's not loving you either, and it's just there. Correct? So maybe is that correct that what you separate is the meaning from the thought?
Exactly. Accept the thought as it comes. Like don't run away. Because
Okay.
if you are having fear about the dog, that's exactly what you said. Then the emotion will trigger. So it's better, to accept. So the way to see it is to change that feeling, that emotion
Hmm.
also.
Okay. So that
If
means yeah,
you
yeah.
say
Yeah.
that this dog is not going to harm me, this dog is very good, nothing is going
Hmm.
to happen. If you think like that, also the emotion also will change.
Okay.
So
Now I
in
get it.
part
Okay.
connect, in part you just sometimes you have to break the circle, sometimes you just have to change the thought.
Understood. Understood. I get what you're saying. So that means uh, separate the thoughts and the meaning that you give to that circumstances, right? So that means you have certain fear of something. So when the thought comes, you just got to be mindful of what meaning you're giving to the thoughts that causes the emotions and separate it, correct?
Exactly.
So that the next time it comes, like you are aware, oh shit, I'm giving this kind of meaning to this thing. I shouldn't do it again. Now I should change it with some other meaning.
Well, you just, yeah, you have to be aware, but you just accept it if it comes, because many times it will be coming again and again. So you don't run away, you just accept it and see what it triggers. Triggers. Like, what is the cause? Are you concerned about yourself, about your health? What is
Hmm.
going to happen? Everybody is going to die someday. So you
Hmm.
just have to see what it triggers in you.
Okay, so okay. Now this leads to something else. I think this is beautiful that you mentioned. That means every time we have a thought that leads to an emotion, fear, right? It leads to
Yes,
certain part of us that we are trying to
yes,
protect.
yes, exactly. So you have to go there to that part and say, so what? You have to see what is triggering and why. It's something normal. Everybody fears, but if I'm scared of dying, like see this coronavirus, people are
Hmm.
afraid of it.
Yeah,
So why? Because you love your life, but
correct,
everybody has to go someday.
correct.
And so over there, you just have to be aware of it. What it triggers, the fear.
Okay, so that means you go to the deepest part of you. Where is that fear coming from? And
Yes,
you kind of just, okay, we don't change it, but we just live with that. Okay, for example, we're afraid of a dog. It's because we are scared of our own, we are trying to protect our own health. But when you accept that someday we are going to die, you
yes,
won't live with that fear. You're like,
exactly. You
okay,
have
what's
to
meant to
just,
happen will happen.
yes, you have to
Okay.
accept the reality.
So that means it's going deep into where that fear originates from and be in
Exactly.
peace with that.
Exactly. Being in peace with yourself is the most important thing.
Wow, that is so powerful, Lina. Thank you for mentioning that. I think we got kind of like an aha moment there. I did, right? So whenever you have a fear, try to go deep into the part of you that you're trying to protect so much, and just live with that. Accept reality. That's really nice. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I want to try to talk back about yoga because I think we're diverted a little far, right, towards fear. But I'm glad we spoke about that. But because a lot of people are facing that, Lena. So let's say like this, okay? You mentioned 15 minutes a day of meditation, right, or breathing or yoga
Yes.
a day. But for example, I'm like the busiest person on earth. I don't have time to practice. What's the solution to that?
Well, see, we all get up and brush our teeth. Every
Right?
day we dedicate our time to brushing our teeth, our hygiene, physical hygiene. We shower, we eat food, we take care of our physical body. But what
Right.
about the mental health? You need
Yeah.
to give some priority to your mental health if you want some creative ideas or no stress in your work, more energy, more focused, and more concentration. You should dedicate 15 minutes a day to yourself, and that you can do it perfectly in the morning. You can just wake up 15 minutes earlier, and on your bed you just sit with your eyes closed. You don't have to do anything at all. Meditation is not concentration, it's just relaxation. So it's not about sleeping, it's about resting consciously on your bed. So you just, on your bed, you just close your eyes and you just sit and relax. That will give you an enormous energy for the whole day. And
Okay.
better for for busy people, the best time is for the morning, because then you have energy for the whole day. Because if you do it in the night, you are just going to sleep because you are tired, you will fall asleep.
Of course. Yeah, I can absolutely relate with that. Yeah.
So the best time is in the morning. If you dedicate yourself for the physical hygiene, you should also give importance to the mental hygiene.
Okay, I agree with that. Okay, that makes complete sense. But okay, that makes complete sense, right? Talk about 15 minutes a day. So, Lena, let's just put it this way. Okay, I think busy is nothing more than an excuse, right? Most of the time, we don't even have 15 minutes a day because we thought, I'm new to this. 15 minutes is a little too much for a beginning. So you have something that is shorter that they can do, for example, 5 minutes a day just to start with, maybe?
No, no, 5 minutes you can't, but you can do it for 10 minutes.
Okay, so start with 10 minutes and then eventually go forwards for 15 minutes. Yeah. And what do you practice? The Bastrika?
Well, no, in the morning, you just sit normally on your bed and you
Okay.
just put your hands facing the ceiling, and
Facing,
then
okay.
you just close your, yes, then you close your eyes
Okay.
and then take a normal breath in and breathe out normal.
So I
And
put my
then
hands
you
up,
just,
yeah?
yes, up facing the sky, the ceiling. You just be with your eyes closed and you just observe whatever is coming in your mind. You just observe for 10 minutes. You just have to sit and relax your body, your shoulders, your neck, your head, everything. So you just sit with your eyes closed and that's it.
Okay, so that means I
This
just
will
sit
give you
down
a lot of,
with my
yes,
eyes
this will give,
closed, with my
yes.
hands up, right, towards the ceiling. And then I just rest my head, my neck, my body, my legs, right? And then I just observe whatever thought comes. What about the breathing? Breathing is the same?
Breathing, you have to observe your normal breathing pattern, which is coming naturally.
Okay. Okay, and then
So
just
nothing
observe
to
the
do.
thought.
Yeah, if there is any thought, if there is. If there
Okay.
isn't, it's okay also. You just close your eyes and sit normally for 10 minutes
So that
and
means
rest your, Mind and body.
Okay, so that means if thoughts do come, Lena, for example, negative thoughts, like for example, my day is going to be bad or shit, I hate this day, right? So does that mean that you don't try to avoid it or, you
Yeah, you
know,
don't push away the
you don't push
thoughts.
it
Don't
away?
push it away. No, you
Okay,
just observe like passing clouds. Have you seen the sky? The sky remains there. Only the clouds go on passing, and everything is temporary. The thoughts don't define you. You are not the thoughts.
I
You are
really
much
like that.
bigger than.
So you remind yourself that, when that means when you're sitting down and watching the thoughts, you tell yourself that, you know what, I'm just like how the clouds is not me, the thoughts is not me.
Exactly. It's not the thoughts. You are not the thoughts. Neither you are your feelings.
So you also separate yourself from the feeling in a way.
Yeah, because you are not the feelings, neither the thoughts. You are something much bigger beyond than that.
Okay, that's beautiful.
That
And I, yeah,
you will only realize that when you start meditating. So start meditating from now and you will find out all the benefits. You will come to know who are you? Who am
right.
I? Ask yourself, who am I in this lockdown? You have the time, you can do it.
That's so beautiful. I love how you put it. And I think this is not something you can explain with words correctly. You have to experience it yourself.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, really, if you do you know who are we? What is the purpose of life? Why are we here?
That's a
We
very
don't know.
deep question to answer.
We need to introspect, and that meditation gives us everything.
Yeah, that's a very deep question to ask, and yes, definitely, that's not something you can answer within one sitting. I mean, like, but for sure, I mean, like, the more you kind of do practice meditation and yoga and breathing, the more it will be more clear to you.
Yeah, you get more clarity in mind and purity in heart.
Beautiful, and I like what you mentioned. I think the key word over here is observe, right, Lena? That way, you don't associate yourself with the thoughts and feelings, but if you
Yes.
observe, you separate yourself from it.
Well, they are part of you, but you don't separate. You just don't identify. Suppose you are angry. That does does that mean you are an angry person? No, you are. That doesn't define you. You are not an angry person. This is just a feeling.
I like that. Most of the times, people kind of like identify themselves with their emotions. They're,
No, suppose we have fear. We shouldn't say that, okay, this is me. No, we are not like that. Is that a child? When you were a child, were you born with all these qualities, anger, fear, sadness? No, you were very happy. Your true nature was not like that.
right, right, right. That's very true. It's something you pick up over time.
Yes. But these things, again, I'm saying you should meditate and realize who you really are.
Okay, so that's not something that can be done in one sitting for sure.
Exactly. You need a habit of meditation, at least 10-15 minutes a day in silence. All the time we keep talking, we engage our mind outside. It drains out all our energy. We need
Okay,
to bring inside, join the energy and bring it inside while through silence we do that.
right, right, right. That's very true. When we're in silence, you figure out what you have to do. I
Yeah,
really like that.
many times people can't be in silence because they feel lonely. Why do you feel lonely, or why do you fear to lose someone? Because you don't know yourself. You have to gain that strength of being alone sometime with yourself, which people nowadays don't spend.
Right. This is very good for people who are still single, including us, yeah, Lina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
normal. Yes, it's normal to feel lonely at times. It's okay. But spend your time with yourself. That will bring strength in you. You will not be dependent on others, or if you have a fear of losing somebody in your life, because you make the other person your life, and you have to see that your happiness is in your hands, not in the other hand.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's most of the time people enter relationship without even figuring out who they are.
Yes, and for people who are in a relationship, they depend totally on the other person. Their happiness lies in the other person, which I'm not saying is wrong. But you should always be in love with yourself first.
Right, right, right. That's
So
very
when the
true.
day they are gone, you don't fall apart and you just don't want to be here anymore. No, it is not like that. You have to love yourself. The joy is within you.
Right, right. I really like that. I really like that, especially for people who are still figuring out who they are before they find their partner or something like this. Very powerful, Tina. So, for example, okay, this is we're talking about most of us are working people, professionals, right? Let's say I'm in the middle of a meeting and I feel anxious suddenly. It just appears, and I can't go out to get some breath or to meditate, and I need a quick remedy. What's the solution to that?
Well, take a normal breath in from the nose,
Okay.
hold the breath, and breathe out from the mouth normally. That's it. You have to do this 3 times if you can. Nobody will watch that you are inhaling from the nose and holding the breath. Just try, breathe in from the nose, hold the breath for 5 seconds, and breathe out. It's like, you know, sometimes we say, what a relief.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. So we exhale like that from the mouth. So
Right.
this is a way of taking out that fear which you have. You just inhale from the nose, hold the breath, and you exhale from the mouth. Ha.
Wow. This is I tried that by the way just now, and it's actually really good. It felt really good.
So if you do this, you can say if you do it 10 times, it will be very good.
10 times
It
is
will
the yeah.
reduce, yeah, if you do this 10 times, this will help in the performance which you're going to give in the exam. For insomnia, you are twisting and turning whole night, you can do this exercise very well, and this
So,
will work.
so this is also good for people who have insomnia.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so because people who have anxiety, and I'm sure you have ever been there as well, sometimes we face it difficult to sleep. Does this breathing technique work as well?
Yes, do it 10 times. Inhale, hold,
Hmm.
and breathe out from the mouth 10 times like this, and it will really help.
Okay, so
Also,
what is
I will
okay?
tell you another breathing technique also.
Yes, please.
So you put from your right hand, the index finger and the middle finger goes in the center of the eyebrows.
Center of the eyebrows. The index
In the
finger and the middle finger.
Yes, the index finger and the middle finger goes in between the eyebrows.
Okay.
And then take a normal breath in from the both nostrils. Then close the right nostril with your thumb and exhale from the left nostril. Inhale from the left nostril, close the left nostril, and then open the right nostril and exhale. Inhale from the right nostril, slow and deep breaths. Close the right nostril, open the left nostril, and exhale. Inhale from the left, close the left nostril, open the right, and exhale from the right. Inhale from the right nostril. Close the right nostril, open the left one and exhale. Breathe in from the left nostril. Close the left nostril, open the right one and breathe out. Inhale from the right nostril. Close the right, open the left and breathe out. And relax your hand on top of your knee, facing the ceiling, the sky. And keep your eyes closed. Take a normal breath in and exhale. And you can slowly open your eyes.
Wow, that felt so good. What is this breathing technique called?
Nari Shodhana Pranayam.
Nari
Nari Shodhana
Shodhana
Pranayam.
Pranayam.
These are all art of living techniques, breathing techniques that you learn in art of living. If you have a center, please do go. You will have an amazing time.
Okay, so Art of Living centers nearby you. Yeah, I mean, like they have it in 150 countries, right?
Yes, and they all teach all these techniques and more. You will learn much more. This is very good for sleeping also and to
This
calm
one
the
is also
nervous
very
system.
good. So this one is also very good for sleeping, yeah?
Yes, Nari Shodhana Pranayam.
Or Nari Shodhana, correct. And what was the previous one called, Lina? The one that you breathe in?
Bhastrika.
Oh, that's also Bastrika. That's the same.
Yeah, that's the other one to gain more energy, like a coffee, a power you get.
Okay, and what about the one that you breathe in and then hold it for 5 seconds and then out through your mouth? What is that called?
Oh, well, we don't have a name for that.
Okay, so that's just a technique, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that felt really good. So today you shared with us 4 techniques, Lina. I thought you were supposed to just share 3. Wow. And
Yeah,
what
but
is
I really recommend the Bhastrika to do it under guidance, please.
Bastrika? Do it under guidance.
Yes.
Okay, so Bastrika, Nari Shodhana Pranayam, and then the one you do in the morning, right, where you just observe your thoughts and you put your hands up. What's that called, Lina?
Oh, that's just relaxing in the pose of a yogi. You just put your hands on your knees, your legs are crossed, and you're just sitting on top of the bed and you're just relaxing with your eyes closed.
And your hands
That's
up, correct, towards the ceiling?
Yeah, it's a meditation, quick, fast meditation, 10-15 minutes.
Okay, so there
that
are
will give you
4 techniques.
for the whole day. You can do Nadi Shodhana Pranayam also whenever you feel stressed, anxious, or nervous. It's very good, calms the mind, the nervous system.
Wow, I've learned so much from you today, Lina. I've learned so much from you, and I'm sure our listeners have also learned.
Thanks to you for giving me this opportunity to share and to be helpful for the society. Thank you so much, Nitesh.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure, Lina. So if I can, what do you call it? If I can kind of like sum up what I've learned from you today, and like I've had a whole 3-4 pages notes that I got from you, but what I really, some of the things that I really like is anxiety is a disturbance in the heart chakra. That is the opposite of love, right? And it's being too much either in the past or in the future. And then emotion and breath are interrelated, right? Emotion changes your breath, or changing your breath also changes your emotions. And then when thought comes, whenever you're feeling afraid, don't fight it, because what you resist persists. Instead, watch them like passing clouds. That is also really nice. And then separate the thoughts with the meaning you give to the thoughts. You shared 4 techniques. which I believe has been really powerful for our listener today. One first is the Bastrika, but this one should be done under guidance, correct, Elena? Yeah.
Yes, Bastrika should be done under guidance.
Okay, and then meditation, in which you do it for 10-15 minutes in the morning, and then Nari
Yes,
Shodhana Pranayam, and then after that the breathing technique, which you breathe in and you hold it for 5 seconds, and then breathe out through the mouth.
yes. I would like to add one more thing for sleeping.
Sure, please.
Put Yoga Nidra on YouTube of Sri Ravishankar.
What is it
It's
called?
Yoga Nidra.
Nidra.
You have to, yes, you have to go on YouTube and Yoga Nidra
Okay, so this is
of
good for
Sri.
people who find it difficult to sleep.
Yes, you have to put Sri Ravishankar Yoga Nidra, and this will put you to sleep. If you want, Nitesh, try it tonight. You will really fall
I,
asleep.
I will definitely try it because it's like 4:30
It's
a.m. here and
only
I need
20
my good
minutes.
sleep. I'll definitely give it a try. Definitely give it a try. Yoga Nidra, yeah?
Yeah, and it's only 20 minutes and you will fall asleep.
Beautiful. I think I should be trying it and you should also be trying it, whoever is listening, right? This is good for you so that you can go to sleep. I'll try tonight. Let's see how it goes, Lina. And I'll let you know tomorrow how it is. So, Lina,
Yes,
what is your aha moment that you can share with our listeners here so that they can immediately be less worried, be less anxious, and be less afraid? Just like a pointer that they can take home, Lina.
see, life is short, and you have to know the impermanence of the world. Everything changes, everything keeps changing. This also phase will change very soon. Nothing is permanent, everything goes. So you just be happy, keep smiling, and do what you feel like doing at home. If you feel like learning new skills, knowledge, you feel like playing a new instrument, be creative and do something. You never know, you can become a millionaire out of it tomorrow only.
I love it. I love it.
Also, keep your peace of mind always. And no matter what, don't let anything or anybody snatch your happiness or your peace of mind. It's very important you have no fear in life, because fear reduces your immune system by 50%. So please don't fear, and know that you are cared of and you are loved. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for saying that. I love the impermanence part, that life is always changing. And this is actually the time for you to be able to do what you've always wanted to do with your life, correct?
Yes, exactly.
You never know after this quarantine is done, right? We're going to be able to finally, eventually be able to live our life. And I really like what you said about fear, because it reduces the immune system by 50%. And so keep your faith and keep your calm. You're taken care of. Thank you so much, Lina, for this beautiful interview. I learned a
Thanks.
lot from you.
Thank you for giving me this platform to share with everybody. You are an amazing coach, and I wish you all the best always, all the success in life.
Thank you so much, Lina. Thank you. I'm honored. So for some of you who are wondering, Lina can help you with Lina, how can you, like, if they want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
But you can go on Facebook,
Okay.
typing Lina Mirpuri. You can contact me over there. Or you can have my email ID also. Is Lina, LINAMD
Okay.
underscore 1991
Okay.
@hotmail.com.
All right. So for some of our friends here who wanted to contact Lina personally, you can reach her out on email or you can reach her out on Facebook, and she's also very active on Instagram, right, Lina?
Yes, I'm active on
She's
Instagram, sharing
Instagram.
the post and giving hope to everybody, and be happy and make others happy.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Lina. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So that's it for our episode of Vitamin Consciousness today with Lina Mirpuri. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to follow, like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends and family under the name Vitamin Consciousness or the Nitesh G. Stay tuned with us for our upcoming episodes. This is your host, Nitesh Gianchandani. See you soon.